What's happening, everyone? Today we're talking about the most underrated shot in tennis, and we are talking about the utility knife. Anything done with the continental grip, the slice, the chip, the drop shot, the block, the slice lob. We can go on and on, the volley, the half volley, right? These are things that you have to have in your game. In a tennis world where we all obsess over power and topspin, the utility knife is so important because it allows us to play defense in really tight spots, and it allows us to expose parts of the court or expose opponents' weaknesses in parts of the court through offense. I mean, this point here, this is from the ATP Cup. Watch, this is Alex de Minaur. We have a block, return a serve, a block lob, and this point goes on. It's like a 50-some exchange, just back and forth. But the ability for de Minaur to extend the point, squash shot, is because of this continental grip. Spoiler alert, de Minaur wins. It's over a minute long, but this is why you need these particular shots. Difficult spots require a utility knife, something for survival within the point. So let's talk a little bit more. Let's get in depth here about what these utility shots are. So the utility shot. What comes to mind first is the slice drive, right? The ability to chip the ball, and chip and slice, it's the same thing, but to get the ball deep in the court. And you can do this by slicing, or excuse me, by driving and hitting it relatively hard, or you can float it. Anything that's going to demand the opponent to back up, all right? This is a shot that we want to have, and then what makes it even better is your ability to take the pace off the ball, and that's done with the drop shot. So let me show you a little example of this. This was from the hitting session with Martin, and a lot of people commented just how good his chip was. And so here we're working on the cross courts. You'll see here he pushes me back with a slice, and then he goes to the drop shot, right? So one of the things that the slice does as well is that there's a disparity in movement. Here, obviously, it's my first time back on court. I'm bored to death with my hip injuries and everything else, but not moving great. And Martin quickly could sniff that out. But this is why the two of these shots combined is really important. So as we back up, the key here, it's not that Martin just has this insane drop shot. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, it's very good, but it's that his slice drive is really good as well. So there you can see I'm backing off the court to respect it. And the anticipation there is that I'm getting another deep ball. And even once I saw it and started moving forward, it was too late. So it's the combination of these two things that make this really effective. So going into a full court, you can imagine how I have to respect that side of the court because of his ability to take the air off the ball and drop it short or push it deep and keep me neutral. It's almost this constant reset pattern with that slice backhand, but that's just one, or I suppose two, of the benefits of the utility shot of the slice. Another one is the slice lob, all right? Hear me out on this. There is no bigger weapon that I've seen, especially on the women's side of the game, to take a player from 3-5 to 4-0. And it's not, don't think of this as the, pushing, or I hate playing those players, and specifically doubles here. Every time I come in, I get lobbed. Players that are using the slice lob well, they're using it actually to get in. They're lobbing the opponent that's closest to the net, and then they're rushing to the net as the opposing player has to run and get the ball. So the slice lob is all about feel. As I pull up my trusty Jack Kramer, and this is really about, instead of taking the full swing that we see on the topspin lob, but taking the ball at the top of the bounce and then giving some pressure through the grip to make the racket firm, and then you can play that ball up. All right, and this disguises because you can also pull it short, but when you pop this ball up, it gives you plenty of time to get in. In fact, I had a team of ladies that played at the 4-0 level, lost in the finals of nationals, and this was their go-to. I'm not saying every single ball we'd see long rallies or anything else, but especially if they could get somebody running to their backhand side, they would hit that slice lob and rush in. It's a really important strategy. Now, where else we're gonna see this is also on the return of serve. All right, so I'll back this up just a little bit. We all know who this is, Stan Wawrinka. And this is something that we see him and Federer use an absolute ton. In fact, we see a lot of players with one-handed backhands using the block return. Now this isn't necessarily, I don't want you to think of it as a ton of slice. You're not actually like trying to chop through this ball. Stand here, although there is slice because the racket's moving high to low, he's more so thinking about blocking. And this is because he's keeping his hand nice and firm, but most importantly, he's keeping weight forward. You'll see here, he's going to transition that weight to that front foot and move behind this ball. His weight is behind this ball. Now, I think the mistake that a lot of players make is they try to chop. All right, think about going through. Like the magic trick here is the continental gripping and keeping the racket on edge just so that it produces a little bit of slice, but think more through, and then you can play with the variance of getting it up with the height, right? How much you want to open the face to get the racket, or excuse me, to get the ball moving up, but you're not chopping. I think that's a really, really big piece that we all have to be aware of. All right, so moving through the list, again, the block, that's what we just kind of saw with Wawrinka here, outside of the slice allowed to block. But we've got to talk about the volley and the half volley. So on the volley, obviously we're using a continental grip. By learning how to chip and using it off the ground when the ball is bouncing, it also has the ability to improve our volley. It's all fully encompassed. The better your volleys are, the better your utility shots are. The better your utility shot is, the better your volley is. Now we're gonna link in the video, or we'll put in a link in the video to some great exercises that you can do to help practice this particular feel and really get good with the utility knife. It's funny because when we watch kids get out and practice, they always start in the short court. They're always working kind of through these utility shots, working through field. Sometimes with top spin, and a lot of time it's backspin. Now adults, what happens? We all get on the court, we drop back to the baseline, we've got an hour and a half before we gotta be at work, or the court reservation's for an hour, we just start hitting topspin, start banging away on the ball. It's about how we practice to get really good at these shots and the ability to play offense and defense through field. So in my opinion, my humble opinion, the utility shot is the most underrated in all of tennis. If you have not been working on it, check out our vault on the platform where we share a ton of resources on these shots and how to hit them. Today wasn't about instructions, just wanted to kind of give you my opinion. But if you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. If you never want to miss a Play Your Court video, hit subscribe. And if you want to check out our vault for free, or if you're trying to meet players in your area, or maybe even looking for a lesson, check out the link in the comment section where you can check out PlayYourCourt.com 100% for free. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.